let's get to the draft though, man. That's what we're here for, bro. And Rod, this 2026 NFL draft is shaping to be, and I could say this unequivocally for me, the most boring NFL draft of my entire life.
Boring for
Like
sure.
people want to compare, like as far as just excitement going into it, the 2013, and maybe at the time if you were in it and you might have been like a little burnt out, because honestly I'm burnt out at this point. I have so much going on, I don't have the time to focus, so it I need something to really grasp me, right? So maybe a person my position in 2013 felt the same way about the 2013 draft. Obviously that's the Lane Johnson, Eric Fisher draft, the Deion Jordan draft for us Dolphin fans, bro. Oh god, bro, Deion Jordan, dog, that draft. But there was
Man,
no
that's
excitement going into that draft, right? None. There was none. That was 13 years ago. It took 13 years for a draft to bring us back to that feeling, right? To the point where, in perfect timing, Ralphie, do Jets draft Alabama quarterback. To the point that now I got to hear that Ty Simpson is the number one quarterback in this draft.
get the fuck out of here, bro.
And this is
Stop.
not no indictment on Ty Simpson. I don't care about Ty Simpson. He could probably be a Hall of Famer. Who knows? Nobody knows anything about sports when it comes to quarterback evaluations. Has nothing to
Facts.
do with him. This is everything to do with we need something to talk about. We have to create something. We have to manufacture something. This is the most obvious and blatant version of this that I can remember, dog. Like 2 years ago, the 2024 draft, you had Caleb, you had Drake, you had Jaden Daniels, then you had Bo Nix, you had JJ McCarthy on the periphery, and you had Michael Penix. You had six people that can carry the conversation because there was legitimate conversations to be had, right?
Right.
Like what happens with the draft and draft coverage is this. You have two completely different fan bases that are really not as overlapped as you think, right? College football fans, in large part, are not NFL fans. NFL fans, in large part, are not college football fans. Now, you're going to have a convergence for NFL fans who come in and they parachute in for the college football playoff. But college football fans, they may watch the Super Bowl. They don't care about nothing that has to do with the NFL, right?
Just facts.
So you have a small overlap of people. So what happens is you have all these analysts and people that really didn't watch football in real time and get the idea of the sense of the college conversation, the temperature of college in real time, which is very, very important. And then you have people who see a couple highlights and like, damn, bro, that dude kind of good. You feel me? Which two
Right.
things. One, that entire time where you were talking about him during the season, like if you're an analyst, you got to talk about a college player. That means you're lying. Because now all of a sudden you got an opinion for real. Then why
Right.
didn't you think this 12 months ago or 8 months ago or 6 months ago, dog? You feel me? Nobody was saying Ty Simpson was a first round pick halfway through the season when he fell off a map, when he was actively ass, when he was panicking against Georgia, when he looked horribly bad. This is the first time that I watched college football and the NFL at the same time in a long time. I used to be a giant fan of both. I was one of the few people in that Venn diagram that equally loved college and equally NFL. Then I transitioned over to NFL. I stopped watching college. The past 2 years with NIL and just how good college football has been, I've been a fan of both. I'm telling you this as somebody who watched Ty Simpson every game. He sucks. No disrespect to the kid. Like
Well,
he sucks.
he's not the number one quarterback in the
He's
draft.
not the number one quarterback.
He's
And the
just not.
reason why I'm telling you this is because I watched the whole season. I got the whole picture. Dan
I never watched my
Orlovsky.
FSU, even though it was week one. I got to watch FSU
You
beat
seen FSU beat him. And FSU
him.
was terrible.
Yeah.
You have to watch these games in real time. Like to compare this to another bad draft, 2016, where we seen EJ Manuel go in the first round. These are people who did not watch EJ Manuel in college. Me and you went to an FSU game, watched EJ Manuel airmail everything for 4 quarters in person.
Yep.
And we were gobsmacked when we saw that he was a first round pick.
No, that was
Here,
crazy. That was
There's
crazy.
people
And
who do
Christian
not
Ponder, dude.
exactly, and Christian Ponder as an FSU fan, mind blowing. College football fans are like, "What the hell is Dan Orlovsky talking about?" NFL fans are like, "Oh, Ty Simpson. Oh, I don't know about him. He might be good for real. You know what I'm saying? He might be solid. Let me go see his highlights. Oh, dang, Ty Simpson ain't bad. Oh, no. You have to watch these things in real time. At no point, maybe for like 2 weeks, when Ty Simpson was beating up on bad teams, were people saying, yo, he could be in competition for the first round pick. That second half of the season, when he fell off a cliff, and again, injuries could play a part into it, but he fell off a cliff because the competition got better. And it's not even that the competition got better. It's how he looked in the games. He looked scared. He looked timid. He was rushed. He had 5 fumbles in 7 games, bro. What are we talking about?
That's wild, man.
He looked like he had one of the biggest cases of lemon booty that has ever been diagnosed on a football field. He looked like he was not ready for the moment. How can somebody be the number 1 QB in the draft when the entire reason that he went in the draft in the first place is because he's not going to beat out the backup freshman recruit that Alabama has? That's why he's in the draft.
Right.
Originally, when he first went into the draft, he got a 4th or 5th round grade. People were like, bro, you might as well go back to college and make money. He's in the draft because Alabama told him, yeah, bro, your spot gone, bro. And he's supposed to be the number 1 quarterback. That's the stuff that's missing if you're not actively in college football, actively following college football. You're not getting this information. Dan Orlovsky doesn't know that. Dan Orlovsky just probably looked at his best 3 games, said, I'm seeing stuff that he's doing that Fernando Mendoza does not do, which is true. If you watch Fernando Mendoza, you watch Indiana, it's a lot of RPOs. I watched damn near every game that he played. It's a lot of RPOs, and it's a lot of back shoulder fades. It ain't much, right? So I can see how Dan Orlovsky's come to that point. But, dog, you've seen Fernando Mendoza in the college football playoff. You've seen him in the national championship game. You've seen him on the highest level. You've seen him in pressure moments. You've seen him have the game-winning drive against Michigan to win the Big Day, or against Ohio State to win the Big Ten championship. Ty Simpson has none of this. Like, this is not real. This is not real. Like, here's the thing. It actually is worse. It was still riveting. There was still truth into that. There was still actual truth because the conversation around Shedeur, there were 2 people that were right and wrong at the same time. And what made it riveting is that both sides thought they were right for the wrong reasons. It was a argument against people who don't watch the draft or don't know nothing about football at all coming in because they were Shedeur fans versus people who know the process. There was a real conversation to be had there. Right, wrong, or indifferent. The basis was based in honesty, like a real conversation. There's layers. We could talk about influence. We could talk about code switching. We could talk about how you have to present yourself, how things could be held against you, what could hurt you. There was real conversations to be had. There's nothing to talk about with this. There's nothing. There's nothing. Even if you truly believe Ty Simpson is the number 1 quarterback, saying it doesn't even matter. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not happening. No way. He'll go first round. He's going to go first.
The fact that he's going first round is crazy. His original assessment. When people said, people were shocked. Like, people who actively follow the draft and watch college football were shocked that he went in the draft. People thought he were just going to transfer because he was so bad last year.
Right. But that just tells you about the class itself.
That just tells you about the class, dog.
It just tells you about the class itself, bro.
There's nothing to talk about, man. Like,
I'll tell you, when I'm looking at draft stuff, like I could be 100% transparent about this. This is the first year in a long time Now that I'm thinking about it, that I have not looked at the quarterbacks for the draft.
There's nothing to
Like
look at,
I
right?
haven't been interested. Like I've looked at every other position at least once, bro. Quarterbacks, Ty Simpson, Garrett Nussmeier, man. I haven't looked at even.
Drew
I never see the
Aller, like
name of
there's
the season.
nothing to look at here, bro.
Nothing.
There's nothing to look
Nothing.
at. These are all to me. I don't even think Fernando Mendoza's that good. I legitimately don't. I like things about him. He's a first round pick. He's a first round type of quarterback. But in most drafts that have actual good quarterbacks, he would be the fifth or sixth, bro. Like he would be behind Cam Ward last year. He wouldn't have went over Cam Ward if they came out at the same time, right? It would have been a manufactured conversation. It would have been more honest. It would have been more within realm of possibility than this nonsense. But he wasn't gonna beat out Cam Ward for that number one spot. Like it just wasn't gonna happen. He would have probably been the fifth quarterback taken in the 2024 draft. Like, that's how bad these past two drafts is. And there's a bigger conversation to have about that, about development and what's going down at the grassroots levels to get us to this point where we're not producing quality quarterbacks anymore. And there's just a problem with development all the way through. But, dog, Ty Simpson would be like Mac Jones was a top 15 pick, and Mac Jones led a undefeated season, I think. Or was it undefeated? Might have been undefeated. Mac Jones balled out to go top 15. People are saying he's Mac Jones with speed. At least Mac Jones had proof of concept at the college level. Bruh, I know you don't watch college football like that. Ty Simpson was ass, man. Alabama fans
All the games that I saw Alabama play, I was unimpressed with him. I was unimpressed, including when I
right
saw
here,
him play.
perfect. Mendoza versus Simpson played in the playoffs, and the game was over in the first half. Final score was 38-3. Thank you. Like, thank you. And even in that game, you go back and watch that game. Ty Simpson was done by the first quarter, bro. Even if you like what he can provide, like him being able to execute, right? You're not supposed to get your ass kicked like that in college, bro. It's college, dog. Like you're not at freaking Wichita State, bro. You're the quarterback of Alabama. You have talent.
Yeah,
And
it's
you
not
got
supposed to be that big of a disparity, bro. No.
and he got smoked. Again, I repeat, Ty Simpson, because when you go into the draft, you get feedback. Most people were shocked that he were into the draft, Rod. The 180 is out of control, dog. Most people, I remember these people. Because what happens when it comes to draft talk is once you have to accept something as reality, then you talk yourself into, okay, well, maybe this and this and this and that. I'm going about how you guys felt originally. Todd McShay, all of these people, PFF, I watch these guys all the time. Dane Brugler, all of these guys were saying, I'm shocked that he's entering the draft. I have a 3rd round grade on him. I have a 4th round grade on him. I'm sure the feedback was saying, hey, the feedback that he's getting is probably better than what I have on him. Obviously, that is true. But that was the conversation around Ty Simpson. The conversation was, we know why he's going to the draft because he can't go back to Alabama. He can't beat out his backup. I've never heard a QB1 is the same QB that can't beat out that backup at college, bro. That's new to me, dog. That's a new one to me. I can't hear you, Rod.
And he's the best in football, apparently. Yeah.
to Dan Orlovsky and Chase Daniel. So it's just a microcosm of what this draft is. And this is hands down the most boring draft of my lifetime, man.